Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Fresno, California. We're live here in Mad Production Studios, my Mike. Sorry about the delay, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great show for you today. Today with us, we have one of the best ring announcers in the sport of boxing today. Definitely one of the best, and I'll go to bat for him, one of the best boxing commentators ever to go behind the mic and put the headphones on. Ladies and gentlemen, from the PVC, I don't want to delay anymore, Mr. Ray Flores. How are you doing, Ray? My mic. Ray, so you've been busy all day today, my man, right? I mean, you had the weigh-ins earlier today?
Today, I have a Zoom call, a production meeting for PBC on FS1 tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time, and then on Thursday morning, I fly out to Connecticut to get into the East Coast PBC bubble for the Charlo doubleheader pay-per-view.
You know what? That's why I got you on the show today, man. We got to talk about their first pay-per-view, Showtime Boxing, this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Both brothers on the card, unfinished business, want to show the world, want to prove to everybody exactly who they are. Talk to us about those matchups coming up.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was down in Houston last week with Jamal and Jermel. They had respective virtual media workouts down in Houston, and I got to tell you, they look in incredible physical shape. They both look extremely focused, determined, and ready to go. I've been around the Charlos for probably about 7-8 years now, and I'll tell you this: this is not even to be selling the fight. The honest truth, this is the most focused I've ever seen Jamal and Jermel in their careers. They are so locked into what they have to do, and the reason why is because they have tough opponents in front of them on Saturday night in this double pay-per-view. You got Jamal, who's defending his middleweight title. He's taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko, who only has 2 losses, and of the 2 losses, one I think is disputed because some people thought that he really pushed Gennady Golovkin last October and might have gotten and should have gotten the decision. Then you have Jermel, who's taking on Jason Rosario, a unification matchup at 154. The winner of that championship matchup is going to take home at least 3 belts, 4 with the Ring Magazine title. Rosario's coming off of an impressive performance where he finished off Julian Williams in Williams' hometown of Philadelphia back on January 18th. These aren't easy fights for either Charlo, which is why they have elevated their training. And this is why they know that they've got to be in the best condition of their lives because they're both expecting battles.
You know what? I can see the intensity. I've watched some of those interviews you had with them, and they have that intensity. They are focused. I agree with you 100%, man. And they just got a different type of pedigree altogether. Would you say, is it safe to say, Ray, that, they just been waiting for this big opportunity to show the world exactly who they are?
You know what? They love this stage because you could tell that they're focused, but they're also happy about it. They're also in good moods. They love the fact that finally, after the years and the hours in the gym, the blood, sweat, and tears, that they finally are main eventing on pay-per-view. This is historic because I don't remember a set of brothers who are twins, mind you, who are headlining a combat sports pay-per-view. I know the Klitschko's were around and they were, within the heavyweight division, but I don't think that they ever headlined a pay-per-view together. The Charlos are, so they're trailblazers, and they have this, they have what I like to say, it's like my own word, they have swagitude. They have a swag about them, but they have this confident attitude. How can you not relish that? As a prize fighter, if you're not confident in your abilities and what you can do, then get out of the business. These guys are confident, but they know they have to be on their A games because Saturday night on paper isn't scheduled to be easy.
I agree with you, Ray. You know what? After Saturday takes place, do you think these champions out there, I'm talking about the Garnelos, the Calebs, do you think those men, those names will be mentioned out of the Charlo's mouth as if to say, hey, I'm ready, let's get these real mega fights going, not just so I can unify, but for the fans?
Do I think that their opponents, like guys like Canelo, are going to be calling them out?
Do you think the Charlos are going to go and call them out, call the big names, and now the whole world would take them serious if both of them come out victorious and look sensational Saturday?
Well, you know what? I was down there in Houston with them last week, and they called out everybody. Even then, they know that they have tough fights, but if they're victorious, they want those big names. They're not shying away from anybody. Jamal said, look, if Canelo's on the table, I'm ready. I want him. There's no bones about it. I want to fight that guy. And he said, if Canelo's not going to fight me, I want the next best guy. Line him up, I'll knock him down. Same thing with Jermell. Jermell said to the 154-pound division, look, I'm getting better and better. I'm ready for anybody that comes my way. Make no mistake about it. I think he even went ahead and he called out Patrick during an interview with a reporter. He even called out Patrick Teixeira. He told the reporter, he goes, talk to Oscar. I want Teixeira. He goes, make it happen. If I win, I want Teixeira next. I want to unify the whole division. So these guys want they want everybody now. They just got to get past Saturday night.
I agree with you. You know what? And you know what? I can see them in a tough battle. But at the same time, I mean, I said it before, iron sharpens iron. And these guys are so close to one another. They rub off on each other. I mean, when one's in the ring, the other one's feeling it. I can see these guys. This is just, we're really getting a taste of what these guys are all about. Because I can see them not only holding their own, but pushing Canelo to the limits where he's never been pushed before. And yes, I said it. Because these guys are like a fish in a small aquarium. You put them in the big aquarium, they're not only going to grow, Ray, they're going to eat the rest of the fish.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, exactly. You know what? That's exactly what it is. I mean, look, they realize what's in store for them, and they realize that they control their own destiny. The thing with the Charlos is this: if they continue winning, they are going to get those mega fights. Jermel's got a mega fight. They both got big fights.
Yes.
But they keep winning, they control their own destiny. Like in anything in boxing, I'm tired of hearing about, political this or this side of the street, that side of the street. At the end of the day, if you're a prize fighter and you keep winning, nobody can deny you. If you keep winning and you want to unify, then it's going to happen. Just keep winning and looking impressive in the ring. Fighters control their own destiny with their two fists. Bottom line.
I agree with you, man. I'm right there with you, bro. These fighters, they often get overlooked. And it's because, fans may not be able to take their swag behind the microphone. A lot of them can't understand why they do what they do or what they wear. It doesn't matter. That's just their style. That's what they bring to the sport. I believe the sport of boxing is embracing and needs the Charlo brothers in the sport. I'm going to say two brothers from Stockton, California, and that's the Diaz brothers in MMA news. They got their own swag and their own style. Nevertheless, people love to hate them, but at the end of the day, what do? They love them. And these cats right here, they got a lot going for them.
No question about it. Look, they were on, they did a whole photo shoot in GQ. Already they're starting to show that they could be crossover stars. They are beloved in Houston. I mean, when I mention beloved, that's the truth. The city of Houston embraces these guys. They love them. They love their energy. They love their attitude. They love the fact that whatever they say, they go ahead and do. This is something that they've dreamed about their entire lives. And now they get their opportunity on Saturday night. And I tell you what, Richie, this card is stacked from top to bottom. I mean, man, what an amazing card.
Let's talk about that card. Let's talk about the prelims we got leading up to the co-main in the main event.
Well, you know what? As you take a look at it, so the card, I don't know, I'm sure you've explained this, but I will go ahead and reiterate it. The card's going to be split up into two. So we'll start off, we hit the air at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. We start off with the PBC debut of John Riel Casimero who signed to Manny Pacquiao Productions. He's a Filipino sensation. Originally was scheduled to fight Naoya Inoue before the pandemic hit of COVID-19. Then that fight wasn't able to get rescheduled, so Casimero now is making his PBC debut. He's taking on an undefeated Ghanaian in Duke Michael for the WBO bantamweight title. Then we go to the co-main event of the first card with Brandon Figueroa, who's undefeated, going head-to-head against Damian Vasquez. Figueroa is a body-punching sensation. He's undefeated at 23 years of age. He holds the belt at Super Bantamweight 122. If he wins this fight, bigger things lie ahead for him. Then we get the main event of Jamal Charlo and Sergey Derevyanchenko. Following that, we get a 30-minute intermission, so you can go get your pizzas, get some more beverages, whatever that may be, whether it's the alcoholic version, the non-alcoholic version, maybe get a restroom break, and then we return for the second portion of the pay-per-view. An excellent second portion. We'll start off with the PBC debut of the former unified champion, Daniel Roman, squaring off against the former champion as well, Juan Carlos Payano. I expect fireworks in that one. I'm really pumped about that fight. Then Luis Neri, making his debut at 122, will battle Aaron Alameda for a vacant title in that division. Neri's already said if he's successful on Saturday night, he wants to fight Brandon Figueroa if he's successful. And then we get the unification matchup between Jermell Charlo and Jason Rosario, just the 8th time in history that the 154-pound division has been unified.
That is one stacked card, man. That card is stacked from start to finish. I agree with you that big time. I know it's going to be a success, man. And you know what? I'm not even trying to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm already looking forward to what PVC is going to drop before the year ends, man. I know they got big plans and they got some big names getting ready to drop. The last time I had both you and Brittany Goosen on the show, and she had some names, man. She was almost going to drop them, but she said, you know what, I can't do that yet, but believe me, it's going to be an action-packed end of the year, and we're going to be explosive in the beginning of the year.
No question. And you know what, it's only going to continue because, and let's not forget, tomorrow night we got I'm in the LA bubble right now. We got PBC on FS1. I'm really pumped about this card, Richie, and I'll tell you why. It's a midweek boxing event. You got to love that. And we got a lot of young prospects that people are unfamiliar with that we're going to introduce you to. We got Nestor Bravo, who is a power-punching Puerto Rican lightweight, going head-to-head against Jose Luis Gallegos. Then the co-main event, we have Ranfit's Encarnacion taking on a very tough Victor Pasillas. Both guys are undefeated, campaigning at 126. So we got a really good card tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on FS1.
I was told to look for Victor Pasillas, man. My man Lukey, he said, hey, Richie, watch out for this cat.
Oh, yeah, Lukey told me the same thing. And you know what, after talking with Victor Pasillas during the fighter meetings, I got to tell you, like, he really has such a demeanor about him. He knows that this could potentially be his coming out party, and he's got a hard test ahead of him in Ranfis Encarnacion. Encarnacion, hard-hitting power puncher for the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic right now has a lot of energy and confidence and momentum with what Jason Rosario was able to do. So we'll see if Encarnacion can take that into his matchup against Victor Pasillas.
That's going to be a great matchup. And you know, when you mentioned Wednesday night fights, man, I can't help but think about, do you remember back in the day, the old school Tuesday night fights, Sean O'Grady, etc.?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up watching that stuff. I mean, as a young kid, I mean, I loved watching those cards. And that's what I'm saying. This is an appetizer, Richie, for, you know, I love appetizers. When you go to a nice restaurant, you got to get a good appetizer. For
Absolutely.
me, if they got to give me a nice big crab cake with some chipotle aioli mayo on the side, that gets you ready for the main course on Saturday night with the Charlo doubleheader pay-per-view. Man, is this going to be a really fun couple of days for boxing.
It is, and I know you're right in the middle of that, Ray. Drop some dessert on us, man. What other names are flying? What can we look for towards the end of the year?
Well, I mean, all I can tell you is what I know and what you already know, because I'm not really privy to any crazy information, whatever. I mean, look, all I know is next month we got Leo Santa Cruz, Gervonta Davis. The following month after that, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, all of them very quality cards. Andy Ruiz will be back, it seems like November 7th, inside the ring, probably on Fox. You know, you have Sergey Lipinets, who's got a matchup on October 10th against Akhmedov. I can't enunciate his first name just yet. So, I mean, we have a really good end-of-the-year run here, and we're only in September, so we still got 3 more months of boxing. I'm thankful that the fans are sticking with us and coming around because, man, I'm telling you, Richie, we are going to have some bangers. 6 quality fights on Saturday night, and then we got 3 fun ones tomorrow night as well.
And you know what, just the whole month of October, because, I mean, let's not forget about the other matchup with the other networks, man, Lomachenko and Teofimo. October is going to be explosive. Talk about a Halloween. Talk about Jason. Talk about Mike Myers. Talk about all these guys. They're monsters inside the rings. They're going to really give us this treat, man, this October, I'll tell you that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is going to be a really, I mean, that fight on October 17th, I believe I'm off. So I'm looking forward to watching Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. I think that's going to be a really good, excellent matchup, you know, on ESPN. And then the following week after that, we got Gervonta and Leo Santa Cruz on Showtime pay-per-view. This is really something to look forward to. And to me, I think that boxing is continuing to grow and expand. And we see high-quality prize fighters going at it. And you know what I love, Richie, and I've said this on social media, is that the guys are young, hungry champions who want to fight each other. That's what I love. Young, hungry champions who want to push each other and test their skills upon one another. Let's see it happen.
Hey, it's starting to happen little by little, and what I really love is the way Top Rank and PBC work together. I mean, to give you that rematch with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Hey, let's not stop there. I mean, they work together once, they can do it again, and who's the winner? The fans. And not only that, the fighters. They get to actually sharpen their skills and match up against one another.
That's so true. I mean, these guys are, you know what, when it comes to the cross-promotional fights, I think that'll really start to happen once fans come back, because when you have the big names on you know, from both entities, you want to have fans to come in to enjoy it, but also because, you know, these fighters demand very nice salaries and very good purses, which they have earned. So why are you going to cut their purses just to go ahead and put on fights when we're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic? Let's go ahead and hope that come the new year, this pandemic's behind us, fans can come back, the promoters can get money at the gate, and more money can go to the fighters. These fighters risk their lives every single time they step inside that ring. So absolutely, I believe that a fighter should get paid what he deserves. So that's why it may take a little bit of time for these mega fights to happen from a cross-promotional standpoint, but make no mistake about it, both sides want these big fights. And both sides are going to make it happen, but the time has to be right. I'm not talking 2022. I'm just saying once we get out of this worldwide pandemic, then we can really start to look forward to that.
I agree with you. Ray, I'm going to ask you the question that I usually ask the fighter. How much of a difference is it or an effect when you're commentating and there's no live crowd there, or when you're ring announcing?
For me, there's not much difference because it's crazy. You know, like, I get so locked in and I get so focused as to what I'm doing that a lot of times I don't even really hear the crowd much. I hear the crowd like during the walkouts, during the ring walks and pre-fight introductions, but other than that, I really don't hear the crowd much because I got my headphones in, or the cans on my head, and I'm so focused as to what I'm doing. I'm watching the ring. I'm paying attention to the monitor. I'm paying attention to what my producer's telling me in my ear. I'm thinking about what I want to go to, or what story I want to talk about next, or trends going on in the fight. I'm paying attention to punch stat numbers, or our researcher will give us trends that are going on, or I'm trying to see if there were any, lacerations or any cuts on the fighter. What's his body language like? What's the referee saying in the corners? What are the trainers telling the fighters? All those things are items that I'm processing during the course of a fight. So do I miss the fans? Hell yeah, I miss the fans. I miss all of them. I miss the media members. I miss people like you being ringside, covering our sport in person. but I'm hopeful, and I pray, and I believe in positive energy that we can get this behind us soon, so that we can return to somewhat of normality sooner rather than later.
I agree with you. Hey, I know we're only limited for time, Ray, but there's nothing like watching the fight on TV. That's all great, but there's nothing like being there live. Just like you said, covering it with the media, getting those one-on-ones, those post-fights, those pre-fights, and just getting them sound bites that are just worth $1 million, man. I tell you. But you continue to do what you do, and we listened to off your vibe, man. And I've said it before, man. You're one of the best commentators in the sport of boxing, and I'm talking about historical.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. And you know what? The one thing that I'll tell you, and that I'm trying to get across combat sports, is I'm tired of the negativity. I'm tired of pessimism. I think we should be more positive. We're getting quality fights on every aspect of combat sports. Let's sit back and enjoy them instead of criticizing one way or the other. That benefits nobody. To me, the more fighting on TV and from the networks, the better it is. I'm sick and tired of people being negative. And yeah, I'm going to call out certain people if I feel that they're being unfairly negative to the sport that I love and that I truly cherish and hold to my heart. Why is that, Richie? Because I see guys that risk their lives every single week, and I've seen people that disrespect these guys, and yeah, that doesn't sit well with me. So as someone in the commentary business, I am all about going ahead and being more positive so that we can showcase and highlight more of these stories. There's so many amazing stories in combat sports that need to be told more, and it's up to us to do it. You do a great job on your show every single week, and we continue to do the same when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions.
Man, I tell you what, that's a drop the mic speech right there. I read your comments, and I don't even need to mention who was being negative, man. And all due respect, too, I love MMA too, but I love boxing too. We can't control the outtake or the outcome of a boxing match. All we can do is to continue to encourage and know that these two combatants put their lives in jeopardy to entertain us, the fans, and of course make a living. So we're privileged just to watch it or be around it. So I agree with you 100% on that comment you made last week.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And it's just, you know what, these guys work hard, they bust themselves, and I'm excited and stuff like that. So let's rock and roll, and let's enjoy the fights and witness everyone do what they do at the highest level and stuff, because this is going to be a special week in boxing, and it's only going to continue. And thanks to you for covering this sport and with an open mind, with a fair mind, and you bring passion. I love it. I feed off of it. And, man, I can't wait to see you back covering events that I'm at.
I appreciate that, man. Before I let you go, Ray, I got to ask you this, man. It must have been a great weekend in the Flores house, man. And I'm talking about your Chicago Bears. They're playing good ball right now.
Well, hey, Mitchell Trubisky scares me a little bit because I don't think he's been able to put together a full game yet. But, hey, look, beating the Lions and the Giants, I'm okay with it. We're only one of 11 teams that are 2-0 right now. We got a winnable game against the Atlanta Falcons, who are coming off of a demoralizing loss to the Dallas Cowboys. If the Bears play a complete 4 quarters, they should be able to beat 3-0. So I'm pretty excited about my Bears. I am all about the Navy and Orange. So hopefully we can go ahead and pull out the victory. But, they definitely raised my blood pressure the past 2 weeks, kind of bringing it down to the wire. But at the end of the day, 2-0 is 2-0. Bear down, my friends.
Hey, man, I'll take that any time of the day, 2-0. And, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I'll take that nail biter for us. We'll take 1-1, man, all day long.
Bro, well, before I get out of here, I told a good friend of mine, Jair Martinez, who does work in the boxing business as well, and he was at the game in Dallas, and I told him at halftime, I'm like, he was at the game, social distancing, I told him, I'm like, look, he was like, man, this is terrible. I go, you guys still have a full half to go. Dak Prescott and everybody, that defense, you're still in this game, and what happened? A 40-39 come from behind W, so you can't count out those Cowboys, so credit to you guys for getting that win.
Thank you. We'll take that win. Thank God for that onside kick, man, and it's not over till it's over, right?
No doubt about it. But I always appreciate the invite right here on the Fighter's Voice. You give the fighters and people like me a platform. Thank you for all that you do.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. And I ain't forgot about you. Got your shirt coming. Brittany got hers already. She posted, and I'm waiting for her to rock a picture wearing it, man. But yours is on its way,
Hey,
Ray.
do me a favor. I'll text you. Actually, relocated stuff, so I'll text you my new address and stuff. I'll do that.
Okay, that works out even better. Hey, Ray, again, I appreciate you taking time out. I know you got a busy schedule, man, getting everything all tight and secure for these fights Wednesday, this weekend, and thanks for bearing down with us, man, and our delay today.
No worries, brother. Take care. Have a great one. Look forward to being on real soon again.
All right, take care. Talk to you later, Ray.
Later, guys.
Later. Ray Flores, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Ray Flores is, he's one of the best commentators in the sport of boxing, and I really mean that, because we got legends, and I'm going to go way back, Larry Merchant, Al Bernstein, etc. You can easily put Ray Flores' name in this mix right here. Does a great job at ring announcing, and I always give him a hard time, man, which is a good thing. I mean, my man hits all his syllables tight and secure, man, honestly. We still got a second half of a show coming for you. We have from Madera, California, Top Rank's own undefeated Bryan Lua. I'm going to give him a call. We're going to talk about his knockout victory he had this past Saturday. Let's give Bryan a call. Mr. Lua, here we go.
Hello?
Bryan, how we doing, my man?
Good, and yourself?
Doing wonderful, man. You're live here on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast, my man.
That's great. Glad to be with you guys.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking time out, too, man. And we just finished up with Ray Flores. We had a little delay today, but nevertheless, we made it work. We made it happen. Ray was very understanding. I mean, that man is constantly busy. He's always on the grind when it comes to boxing. He's the man behind the mic for the PBC. But now I want to talk to the man who took about a year and a half off, close to 2 years. I'm going to let you tell the story. And
26 months.
26 months you were out of the ring, Bryan. You stepped in the ring this past Saturday, for the first time. I didn't see any rust. I didn't see any panic. I didn't see anything that concerned me. But what I did see was possibly one of the ferocious, devastating knockouts that I've ever laid eyes on. It was a one-punch sensation in the second round. Talk to us about you coming back and how you felt inside the ring.
Man, I feel great. I was anxious to be back in the ring, being so long, and I just wanted to I had so many doubters that it was just like something that went fire in me, Like I was just like, I got to make those doubters believers and those haters fans. So, I train hard, very hard, and hard work pays off, and I'm glad everything went good. And the guy was supposed to give me some rounds, and I made it look easy in there. Like you said, I mean, I didn't feel like I had any ring rust because I was always in the gym. Either way, that my hand was still messed up and stuff, but I was always active, doing all kinds of workouts, doing everything possible for not to let anyone be ahead of me in my boxing career.
Well, you know what? You showed everybody exactly why, one, Top Rank has held on to you, two, why Robert Garcia continued to work your corner, and three, your management team, Big Al, Perez, and just everybody that believes in you from day one. They're still there in your corner. They're still pushing you. They're still there, knowing they're a part of Team Lua. Charles Trimley with the speed and agility, strength and conditioning. I mean, you have one hell of a team there, Bryan.
Yeah, I believe I have, if not the best team in the world. I believe so, because I mean, I can ask for anything else. I have my coach, I have Big Al, I have my family, I have this training conditioning. Man, I can ask for anything else. I believe I'm in the best camp in the world.
I believe so too. Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy is one of the, if not the best boxing arena, gym, family-oriented in the world. And I do agree with you. One thing I want to comment on, Bryan, is during that time off, that layoff, you seem to keep your head up. You seem to stay positive. You know, a lot of fighters, they fall into depression or they just fall out of the sport or they eat their way out of their division. You've always seemed to maintain your weight, to stay in shape and keep a positive attitude. What was the strength behind that time off that kept you poised and that kept you focused?
Well, you know, I believe I went into like depression for a little bit, but the thing that pushed me away from all that negative stuff and just putting me down was my kids. You know, I have a family now, and it's like not only do I have to work for myself, but now I work for my kids, my family, for my well-being of my family. And I was like, you know what? All these years that I put in the gym when I was in, you know, when I was back when I was training with Tommy. I was just like, you know what? All the sacrifice that I did, I'm not gonna let that go. So my mind was just set, like, you know what? I gotta come back in a spectacular way, and that's what I did, man. I'm glad that it happened the way it happened, because I mean, I just opened a lot of guys, I opened a lot of eyes, and everyone, like what's his name? I forgot his name. Eli Segback said, now, no one knew you before, but now this knockout came, and now everyone knows about you. So I'm like, damn, I'm glad I did that, and it's time to prove who I am and let the boxing world who I am.
You know what, I tell you, I talked to some members on your team, and they were very excited, but at the end of the day, Nate Diaz said it best. He said, I'm not surprised, mothers, but they didn't say the rest of the sentence, but they said, when I was telling them that, they said, we're not surprised. They always knew you had it in you. They knew you had the potential. You know, it wasn't just a setback for yourself. That the whole team, they were waiting for you. But you know, when it's injury or whatever it is, I mean, you just got to wait it out.
Yeah, it was exactly what happened. You know, my wrist, it didn't feel good, so I decided to take as much time as needed, because I mean, either way, I was already out for. So say if I was out for a year, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk my whole career. I already took a whole year off, so I'm just gonna wait till my hand feels like it's completely recovered, because I don't wanna have another step back in my career.
Besides your kids, what's are some of the main things that kept you in line? That where you had to just answer for yourself? Because when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you only see yourself. What's one of the strongest things that just led you that says, hey, you know what? We're ready now, mentally, physically, and spiritually?
You know what? It was like back in the amateurs, when I was back in the amateurs, like right now I see a lot of fighters that are doing pretty good already, like world champs. And back in the amateurs, they couldn't mess with me. So I was just like, you know what? They're doing this in the pros. They couldn't mess with me back in the amateurs with headgears, big gloves. I was just like, man, as soon as they step in the ring with me with the M-Ons gloves, it's a wrap. If they didn't mess with me in the amateurs, they're not gonna mess with me in the pros. So that's what kept my fire inside going, knowing that, you know what, man, I'm one of the top prospects in the world, and I believe so.
Well, I tell you what, you know, who also believes so is, I got some questions for you, man. I got one from Hall of Famer from Top Rank Boxing, Mr. Lee Samuel. He said, why is Lua such a young, awesome prospect? And he also says, okay, this question's for you. How hard are you trained by Robert Garcia? And how do you deal with all those great champions inside of the ring, inside of the gym when you're training? How do you deal with it mentally?
Man, I train side to side to them, so I'm like, I breathe the same, we eat the same, we train the same, so I'm just like, I'm no different from them. So that's what pushes me to do best. Like, if they did it, why can't I do it?
I agree with you, man. He said, ask Bryan, who would Bryan Lua love to fight next? has he signed up as a contender? I mean, you're a contender. What have you taken in your career, and what have you gotten out of your career so far, and knowing that you can get to that next level? And who would you like to fight next? Yes, what prospect would you like to fight next as well?
Right now, I'm just letting my management team do their work. Whoever they want me to fight, I'll fight anybody. It don't matter. I'm ready. I believe I'm ready for a world. I'll be ready for a world title maybe by the end of next year, mid next year. So I'm working hard for it to achieve my goals. So I'm just gonna keep working and proving, and let my work talk for me.
Right on, man. This next question is from Eric Hernandez, Dog Boxer. He says, "Who does Lua have his eyes on right now? That's his main competition out there." And he said, "Congratulations on your victory last Saturday." Who do you got your eyes on, Bryan?
Man, I don't got my eyes on nobody. I got my eyes on myself, and the only person that can beat me is myself.
Hey, I agree with you, and I love that attitude, man. I mean, hey, I'd have the same attitude if I came off a vicious victory with a one-punch knockout. Bryan,
they should be worried about me. I'm not worried about nobody. I'm like a horse about a race. I'm just worrying about my thing, because this thing's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm just gonna do my thing, and whoever they put in me, I'm just gonna drop them.
Well, there you go, man. Enough said. Hey, so what has Top Rank mentioned to you? I mean, because you came out of there basically without a sweat. You got some work in there. I mean, when can we see you back inside the ring? Because Top Rank has been known to keep fighters in the bubble or just bring them right back. Have they mentioned anything to you?
Yeah, they already mentioned a fight. I already have a scheduled fight already, October 9th. I was supposed to fight the 3rd. Yeah. But Robert told me, like, well, we decided to take another week, because my right hand, my knuckle was a little swollen. So we were like, you know what, we're just gonna take like a few days off so the swelling can go away, and then right away we're gonna get you back in the ring. So yeah, it's looking like October 9th is my next fight on the track. Ruben Villa versus Navarrete.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a great. Go ahead.
Yeah, which is a great fight. There's gonna be a lot of viewers watching, so I'm excited.
No, gives you an opportunity, man. And I know Christina Patra was calling your fight, and you can hear the excitement in her voice when she called that knockout.
Yeah.
What was working for you early in that fight? What did you recognize as soon as that first round went by? I know he was trying to be very aggressive right off the start, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen you up against the ropes. He wasn't too effective, but nevertheless he was able to have his way for a short period of time until you were able to fight your way out.
No, yeah, like sometimes I like to get in the ropes and move around, see what they got. But since the first round, this guy came like basically to take my head off. So yes, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take my time. I know I got 4 rounds, but sooner or later, if I catch him, he's gonna go out, and that's what happened. As soon as like you said, he got me in the ropes a couple times, but as soon as I landed my first right hand, I got his attention, and I knew it was a wrap from there. As soon as I landed a right hand and I was landing my body shots, and then my little step overs and little feints, everything was working for me. So after the first round, I actually told Pita and Khetphet, I was like, this guy is mine. And that's exactly what happened.
Now, did you know you would catch him, later on in the fight, or did you set him up, or you guys both threw left hooks? You kind of just dodged his left hook, but yours was able to land clean. Yeah, well, I knew he was gonna trade it with me, because I didn't really trade with him in the first round. So in the second round, I was like, I'm gonna set my punches up, because I know he's gonna want to trade. So as soon as we started trading, I knew it was going to be a matter of time. If I landed a punch, he was going to go to sleep. Let's talk about that, Bryan. I mean, you've always had natural power and ability. How much of it has just finally set in now that you're working with Charles Trimley at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy?
Man, it's been helping me a lot. I feel way stronger. I don't get tired. And probably back then, like those three unanimous decision wins that I had, that was probably because I was still younger. I didn't have my main strength, but I did drop all my opponents, and I did hurt all of them.
So this just comes with age, man. So I mean, you're at the early beginning stages of your career, man. Even though you only have 6 fights.
Yeah, I have 6 fights.
I'd have to say it's still the equivalent of 10 fights because of the work that you're getting at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. Again, I can't emphasize it any stronger. The workouts you're getting there, the sparring you're getting there, and iron sharpens iron.
I'm getting world-class work from sparring, everything. You name it, we have it here, man. Like, I'm blessed to be in this camp. I'm blessed to have my family supporting me all the way through. My dad always believing in me. And, I mean, I know there was a few doubters, but, I mean, it's common sense. I've been out for, like I said, 26 months. And man, I just wanted to prove everyone wrong. And, man, I thank God that's what I did.
Well, Bryan, I'm going to tell you this. Both yourself and myself, both from Madera, California, you know, it got old already. As far as every time I would go to a gas station, every time I go to a store or a supermarket, hey, where's that kid from Madera at? Do you know when he's fighting next? When's Lua going to fight next? Hey, when's Bryan going to fight? I heard this, I heard that. And I just said, news is dropping soon. And I've been saying that for about 1.5 years, 2 years, my man. So it was good to finally let everybody know that, and I let the whole Madera know that you would be back in the ring, and they got to see you last Saturday. Some that missed the fight got to see the rerun by Top Rank, and they were very pleased, and a lot of them are very strong supporters, man. So how does that make you feel knowing that you have the support of your hometown?
Man, it just makes me want to work harder, you know, having my whole town supporting me. And knowing that the Central Valley is going to be supporting me, I'm just going to, I want to be like another Jose, man. If not better. No disrespect to Jose, but I believe I have all the tools to be just as good as Jose, if not better.
You know, Jose's done a lot for himself, and he's made good on every opportunity, man. And, you know, you got
Jose, I'm telling you, I don't see him losing anytime soon. Or if not, I don't see nobody beating him right now. He's strong. He's body strong. He's mentally strong. He's a monster in the ring. You know,
that goes my next question. Not just from Jose, but you got Virgil Ortiz. You got Mikey Garcia, and even Robert himself. What have they talked to you about? What advice have they given you that's just really opened your eyes and as if to say, okay, if it's happened for them, it can happen for me? What encouraging words have they given you, Bryan?
Well, they told me, you know what, Mikey is not any better than you, Jose is not any better than you, or any of the other fighters is any better than you. So, I mean, you just gotta believe in yourself. And man, he goes, everyone tells me the sky's the limit for me if I stay motivated, if I stay hungry, and if I stay focused, and I keep training hard.
You know, you're exactly right. I mean, you can't help when injury does happen. You can't help when setbacks do happen. But Bryan, I'm going to tell you this, man, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm just like everybody else, if a Bryan Lua stays motivated inside of that gym, sky is the limit, my man. I mean, because when you have one-punch knockout power, anytime during the fight, when you land, you can change the outcome of the fight. A lot of fighters don't have that power just yet. They have the tenacity, they have the experience, they have the know-how, but it's always good to have that power. But behind that power comes dedication. It comes spiritually blessed. You know, paying your dues. When I say paying your dues, you know, hey, you were on the prelims and you know, work your way to the co-main until you're the main event. But you have all the tools necessary. And you said it yourself. You said it best. The only one you got to worry about is yourself. So I'm glad you got that fire burning again. I'm glad you know that you're getting your corazon from your kids. and that you got a great team behind you, I myself am excited, and I am part of Team Lua. I look forward to your career blossoming and continue to just move forward. And October 9th, I guess we get to see you back inside the ring. Would that be a 4-rounder? Do you know your opponent, or is it a 6-rounder? What do you know about that date?
I got an opponent yet. I still got an well, they barely told me today I got an opponent. I don't know his name yet. They told Robert about it, and there's going to be a 6-rounder. Well, last time it was supposed to be a 6-rounder, but I guess the commission didn't approve him for a 6-rounder. I don't know why. I mean, I was ready to go 8 rounds, but like I said, it was 4 rounds, and I knew my preparation was there, my conditioning was there. I knew everything was there. Like I heard the commentator in the fight. My punches had two years of waiting.
Yeah, they said it best. You know, Bryan, I'm watching the fight, and actually I can hear those punches. A little more emphasis because there's no crowd, even though they play the voices, whatever. But you can actually hear the punches landing, even the ones you landed on his arm.
Yeah, when I watched the replay, and I'm like, damn, you can hear those. They sounded nasty.
So hey, it's okay to watch yourself and rub off on yourself, man. I mean, that's okay, and that's good. And a fighter should have that chip, that confidence necessary to get inside the ring with anybody and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go back to Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. I mean, you yourself got to witness champion versus champion spar with each other inside the ring. And we're not giving any detail or names because what happens in the gym stays in the gym. But how did you feel sparring or sharing the ring with these world-class fighters?
I mean, I can tell you sometimes it's better than watching a fight. You can come in here and people will pay. I know they will pay to see me spar someone else or world champs like Jose Ramirez spar Virgil. I mean, I think Robert can make his own promotion because
absolutely
he has all, but basically the ones he needs is like a heavyweight. He has all weight classes, and man, we're obese, bro. I think we're damn. I don't see no one beating my teammates anytime soon, bro.
You know, I noticed lately that's been the theme, man. More than ever before, you guys have just been supporting one another. Everybody from Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, and you're calling it a team, and you guys are a team, and you guys are a family.
Yeah, I mean, I see everyone as a family right here because, you know, even though I'm not gonna say I'm not making big money or I'm barely making money, they'll always help me out. They knew I was struggling when, you know, 2 years of fighting, 2 years of just working here and there, working on my conditioning. I couldn't focus on just one thing because I was focusing on either waking up early, go to work, then therapy, then still working out. So it was, you know what, it was hard. It was hard, but I'm glad I stuck through it. Como dicen en México, me amarré you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, hey, you can go ahead and say it on here, man. You can say anything you want on here, my man.
Pues me amarré un huevo y la mitad del otro.
There you go. There you go. That's the only way. You got to use them both inside that ring, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. I mean, you've been doing good for yourself. I mean, the long await it passed. People want to see how you respond in your second fight. I mean, you announced the date here on the Fighter's Voice, October 9th. I'm looking forward to watching you once again, man. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing, Bryan. I mean, you have everything going for you right now. I mean, right now, you're as good as your last fight, and you look spectacular. You got a great team behind you. You know what? You're going to have more fans than ever before. It's just how the way you conduct yourself, and you've always showed class. And talking to the kids a while back, we went down to Madera. We talked to the middle schools, and you gave back. You talked to some of those kids. And to those kids today, they ask about you. So does the principal. The principal, I posted something, Mr. Marshall, and he grabbed it. He posted it too. He texted me back and said, man, this kid's the real deal. He's a beast. He's a monster. But at the end of the day, you still have to fight. And you've been doing that, not just in the ring. You've been fighting with this injury or this time off, but you kept poised and you kept your head up. My point is this, man: be part of that family. Have Robert make room for you on top of there, because they only hang champions on top of there. See yourself doing it. Apply yourself, and the rest is it's just gonna fall into place, man.
Yeah. And I'm actually gonna. People would tell me, like, you could have hit the other guy after. Well, he was basically out on his feet, and I could have, but like, man, like, I'm not. It's a sport, you know. If I hurt someone, I mean, I'm in there to. It's a sport where it's you kill or be killed. But as soon as I landed that punch and I seen him, he was on his feet, so it was there was no another punch necessary to land. I was just gonna hurt the other guy more. And man, like I said, like, every time I go in the ring, I pray for myself. I pray for the other guy that he goes back to his family, because at the end of the day, we're boxers. We do have a family. We do have kids. We have, we want to have normal lives after the fights. And for something to happen to someone during the fight, it's bad. But I'm glad I didn't throw another punch, because you never know what could have happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think there was another punch necessary. That you said it right on the mark, man. Hey, now that I got you here on the show, Bryan, I got to ask you, man. I want, before you answer, break this fight down, man. I mean, you have from Top Rank Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, man. That fight's going down next month. How do you see that fight going down? Do you see it going the distance, and who do you have victorious and why?
Man, I'm going with Teofimo, man. He was actually the one that I messed my hand up with in sparring. Man, you should have seen that sparring. It was a war. But man, I believe Teofimo has the power. He has the balls. He has the heart to beat Lomachenko, because most of these fighters that are fighting Loma, they already lost before even stepping in the ring, because they're already mentally fucked, because they're going like, oh my God, Lomachenko. But if you're going with that set of mind in the fight, there's no way you're gonna win. And I believe Teofimo believes in himself, and he knows it's his time to shine. And I believe so too.
Do you see that fight going the distance?
Man, I don't know. I don't think so. It's a 50-50 fight, man. Lomachenko, for no reason they call him pound for pound, man, because he's a beast too. But whoever lands a clean punch, I don't see it going a distance. And if it goes to distance, man, I don't know.
That's gonna be a tough fight, huh?
Yeah, it's a tough fight, man, for both of them. I think Teofimo has more to win than Lomachenko has to win. Because if Lomachenko wins, they're gonna be like, oh well, Teofimo was 23 years old. He still needed more time. So I believe Lomachenko has more to lose than Teofimo. If Teofimo wins, then he's already a superstar.
There you go. Well, let's skip ahead. Okay, let's talk about the 140-pound division. As you know, Josh Taylor is going to be defending this coming up weekend, and then you got Jose Ramirez, who just came off his mandatory defense. He's taking some time off now. He's already said, hey, my next fight is going to be against Josh Taylor. I want this fight to happen. Top Rank looks like they want that fight to happen. Without being biased, and it's very hard to, how do you see that fight taking place if Josh Taylor is victorious coming up?
Man, I believe Josh Taylor has never stepped in the ring with someone like Jose. And that's just going to be a problem for Josh. You can see the fight when he fought Posto, Josh Taylor, and Posto actually hurt him, and he was running for his life. And then this fight, when Jose fought Posto was basically running to survive. So imagine Jose lands a clean punch to Taylor. He's gonna make him quit. He's gonna make him, man. If not a stoppage, unanimous decision. I believe Jose Ramirez is gonna take it. Not for my being biased. It's just that the way I see the fights. I mean, it's not an easy fight.
No.
Josh Taylor can fight too.
Yeah. But you know,
but like I said, I don't think he has stepped in the ring with someone like Jose.
Well, I mean, Jose just has that. He has a different type of hunger, man. He has a different switch to put on, and Jose, he knows what he needs to do. I mean, he knows what exactly the adjustments he needs to make, and don't be surprised if that fight happens and overseas, man. I mean, down all the way down in the UK. Do you see Jose adjusting to being on the other side of the world if that fight does take place in the UK?
I mean, why not? If they give him the time, at least a month before, to go over there, adjust for everything, and he can make new fans over there. And why not bring the other two belts that he's needing, and in front of the other guys, basically backyard.
Hey, I agree with you, man. Yeah, exactly.
That will put Jose like on a different, another level, like Errol Spence did when he fought Kell Brook. That just made Errol Spence way bigger because of the way he beat Kell Brook in his hometown. And man, if Jose wins that fight back where Josh Taylor is at, man, that'll be awesome for Jose, for the team, man, for the Central Valley, man, for everybody, man.
Hey, I agree with you, Bryan. I really do. Well, I tell you what, we look forward to you jumping back into the ring October 9th, man. I mean, you're in good hands, as you already know. I'm going to have to make contact with Robert soon, man. I'm going to have to just slide down there, maybe get some content when you're there, maybe that week before you leave to the bubble. I believe it's going to take place in Jim Grand because they have their own bubble there in Las Vegas. Appreciate.
Yeah, that's right.
Appreciate you taking the time and your professional analyzing on some of these fights, man. Is there anything you want to leave or say to all the fans and the followers that support Bryan Lua?
I just want to tell them stay tuned, and more knockouts like that are gonna be you're gonna be watching.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself, from Madera, California. Top ranks, undefeated, 6-0, 3 knockouts. Bryan Lua. I appreciate you coming on the show. Hey, as always, Fresno, California, we got some great fights coming up this weekend. Don't forget to tune in to Showtime Boxing. The Charlo brothers, they would take command and they would take the opportunity and defend their belts. Ray Flores, who was our guest earlier, you're going to hear him analyzing the fights, breaking it down. Bryan Lua, I want to thank him once again for taking time out and sharing that victory with us. That he had last Saturday. It was ferocious, and like he said, there's more to come. It's a wrap here, Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Hi, I'm Jose
Thank
Ramirez.
you.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.